I call the June 22nd, 2026 board meeting for Okaloosa County Schools in order. Okay, board members, let's look at our agenda. We do have some changes. On the consent agenda, we have 7.60 school readiness provider contract. Added item 7.61, contract between the School Board of Okaloosa County, Florida and Northwest Florida Ballet, Inc. for 26-27. And under Superintendent's Human Resources recommendations, we've added 8.12, employee suspension. So if I have no questions, I'm going to need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bryant, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinle. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. We don't have any recognitions tonight on number 3, nor any administrative personnel appointments on number 4. On number 5, we have public comment. This is for items that are on our agenda. Ms. Mary, do we have some? Great. Thank you. Okay. So first I see Cyril Stubbs Jr. If you want to come forward, please. Good evening, sir. I see that you want to speak on our agenda item about the surplus lands with Mary Esther Elementary. And before you get started, our attorney's going to give you the rules.
You'll have 3 minutes to make your presentation because this is an agenda item. And we would ask that you would discuss concerns related to the educational system in the school district, and personal attacks against officers and personnel should be excluded from presentations. And we would ask that everyone in the meeting tonight act in a respectful manner. Thank you.
Absolutely.
If you give your name and address, please, for the record.
My name is Cyril Stubbs Jr., 3607 Poverty Creek Road in Crestview, Florida.
Okay.
So I wanted to take a few moments. I have nothing negative to say about anybody here, but I did want to speak about something that is pressing to my heart. First off, I am the president of Okaloosa County Community Land Trust. We submitted a bid for the RFP 2601. And what we do is we look for permanent affordability homeownership options. And why that's important in an educational standpoint to the school board is because we have teachers, we have students, we have support staff that are all facing this affordable housing crisis. Many of us have to choose between homeownership, how we're going to get to work, how we're going to feed our kids. And we want to work with the school board to address that issue. So a little bit about us. We are a certified community land trust as deemed by Florida Housing Coalition, which means we operate with the best standard practices with the highest capacity among community land trusts. When we saw the RFP put out for Mary Esther Elementary School, we saw it as an opportunity to provide, like I said, housing to our teachers, our firemen, our police officers, our central workers. As we all know, Okaloosa County is one of these counties in Florida that we have home prices that are exceedingly and outpacing wages. And so when we looked at that, we saw an opportunity, number one, to maintain a school here in Okaloosa County, and number two, like I said, to help alleviate the stress of trying to find a place to call home. When I look at the data here, doing some research, I see that approximately 3% of students are homeless. And while we all know that might be a low number, or probably is a low number, whether that's because people are embarrassed to say I'm homeless or I don't have a place to live, or if students just don't know what that definition of homelessness is. Also, we look at teacher salaries, and those salaries do fall within that 60% area median income, which is a direct need for affordable housing. And so I live in Crestview, which is probably the cheaper area to live in. I live in the county limits, but when I look at teachers that live in Niceville, when I also coach in rec league in Crestview, and I talk to parents and their students who are having this stressful conversations of, hey, Coach C, I don't know where I'm gonna live today. Or I had a player of mine, her mom lives in public housing, and said that her pipes burst, and she had to find out or figure out a way to move into a hotel for the weekend. These are students that have to go home. You have to come back to school. And how does that affect their education? They're tired, they're hungry. parents, same thing, working 3 or 4 jobs, so they're not there to have the support system that they need. And so I know that the Mary Esther School, that land is appraised at $9 million. Sorry, that's my time.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
I know that it's appraised far above what we offered. But I think if we take a look at it and see what we can provide to be a leader as a school district in Florida, to say, hey, look, Mr. Henley, Mr. Dustin, Mr. Stephen Chick, Mr. Bryant, Mr. White, Mr. Chambers, Mr. McNinnis, we care about our students. We care about our teachers. And we care about our support staff. And how do we do that? We provide them a place to call home. Because when I pull into my driveway, stressful day, I can walk in the door, I see my wife and kids, and I had that pleasure of saying, hey, honey, I'm home.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stubbs. Appreciate your comments. All right. Next, I have Crystal Harrison, also speaking on the sale of the surplus property. Ms. Harrison? Good evening. If you would please state your name and address for the record.
I'm Crystal Harrison. My address is 425 Bobby Drive in Crestview.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to take a minute. I won't be before you long, but of course, my name is Crystal Harrison, and I'm the Housing and Community Development Technical Advisor for the Florida Housing Coalition. But I am here today acting on behalf of as a board member for the Okaloosa County Community Land Trust. First, I want to thank you all for listening and for the work that has gone into evaluating the property and the proposals. However, I understand, I understand the board has a responsibility to be good stewards of public assets and to ensure that decisions are made in the best interest of the community. I am here tonight to ask that the board please remove that agenda item 7.53 from the agenda for further discussion, and to also consider the financial value, not only the financial value of this property, but also its long-term community value. Okaloosa County continues to face significant housing challenges, as Cyril said. However, teachers and school employees, first responders, healthcare workers, industry employees, and many other members of the community are struggling to find housing they can afford close to where they work. And this issue affects families, employers, schools, and the overall economic health of our community. The CLT, or Community Land Trust model, it offers a unique position or opportunity to create permanently affordable housing because unlike traditional housing, unlike traditional affordable housing developments that may lose affordability over time, community land trusts are different. They focus on permanent affordability for future generations to come. The public investment stays in the community, and it continues producing benefits long after the initial development is complete. So while a sale on the open market may generate significant income and the highest immediate return, I respectfully ask that the board consider whether there may be a greater long-term return for the citizens of Okaloosa County through a public purpose use of this property. And I'm not asking you to disregard your fiduciary responsibilities. Rather, I'm asking that you consider whether there's a path forward that balances fiscal responsibility with pressing housing needs facing our community. The decisions made about public land today will shape Okaloosa County for decades to come. And this property represents a rare opportunity to create a lasting legacy of housing affordability and community stability. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. All right. Our next speaker is Kelly Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. If you just, for the record, state your name and address, appreciate it.
Of course, I'm Kelly Hernandez. I live at 519 Kumquat Avenue. Yes, that's a real street in Niceville, Florida. I am the Executive Director of the Homelessness and Housing Alliance for Okaloosa and Walton Counties, and also the Chairman of the Board for the Okaloosa County Land Trust. And we are here today understanding your fiduciary responsibility to Okaloosa County, but also requesting that you remove 7.53 from the consent agenda just for the sake of transparency so that we can better understand your goals and the use of that property. And we think this provides a unique opportunity for a public-private partnership through the land trust that can benefit our school district moving forward. If there's opportunities for discussion around separating the parcel, if there's opportunities for discussion around increasing our bid, all of those things are open and on the table. And so for the sake of transparency and public conversation, we would request that that be removed from the consent agenda.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, board members, you have any comments?
I do, Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Ryan.
And it's the procedural aspect of it. I would like to probably just pull this out for discussion from the consent agenda so we can discuss it later in the board meeting.
Okay, but we have approved the
This is the time to do that.
Okay, we
We've
can do
approved the
that.
agenda, but he can ask now that that be amended to move this to discussion.
Okay, so
I
are you
make it.
making that request?
I am making that
Can you
request.
put that in a motion, please, sir?
I'd like to make a motion that we remove 7.53 from the consent agenda and put it into discussion.
Okay, all right, I have Mr. Heinley's motion. I need a second. Second by Mr. Destin. Any comment, other board members?
Well, just that this item's on the agenda, and my assumption would be that it was brought forward by the recommendation of the superintendent and the staff. And superintendent, I'm interested to know if what our position might be from your side.
Well, first, obviously the board always has the ability to bring anything that you would see fit to discussion. Very much appreciate the words that you all had today, the way that you came forward to share your concerns. I do not believe unless Mr. McGinn has shared with me differently, we wouldn't go into having discussions here in a board meeting about upping an offer. I think that's part of a different process. But you absolutely have the ability to bring it to discussion. As you know, we've gone through a process on this in terms of when we put anything out for bid for land. There's statutory requirements that we go by. And again, I very much appreciate the passion of those folks who've come today. Each of you understands the bids that came in.
So I have a follow-up question then, Madam Chair. Mr. Attorney, we went through the bid process as we're required to do by law. I guess the question I want to know is, are we free to not do that at this point? I mean, we have an awardee, is that correct?
The recommendation is that the two bids that were received be rejected, and that you authorize the property to be put up for a private listing through the broker that has been previously selected by the board. I would offer that just because you reject the two bids, once you put it out there for private offers and negotiations, there's nothing to say there couldn't be further discussion with this group. And even, their name could be given to the broker as someone who is not subject to commissions if there were any transaction that came forward with them, since they've already submitted an interest to the school board. But that would certainly be up to you.
I understand. So the key point for me then is we're not under any compulsion. I mean, we can do this.
Yes, sir. You put it out for bid, and the two bids received were nowhere close to the appraised value, so you've tested the market.
Right.
And the market didn't produce anything that we could work with, in our opinion.
Okay. And could you describe what the process might look like?
Well, the first thing, if the board approves this tonight, we would get with Brett House at Remax Realty and have him prepare a listing agreement in accordance with our selection of his firm. We would then, at the next meeting, bring the listing agreement back to the board for final approval. He then would begin to publicly market the property in the ways that brokers do that with advertising and marketing packages. And then as he received any proposals or letters of intent or offers, he would bring those back to staff, just like he's been doing on the Lovejoy property, which is currently out on the market for sale.
All right, that answers it. Thank you.
So then my question is, why do we need the amendment when basically it's gonna do the same thing, right? This motion?
Yeah,
My motion was just to take it to discussion, that's
right,
all.
we're having a discussion, we're kind of out of order.
Yes.
So we probably should just go ahead and adopt the consent, excuse me. Go back down and talk. Adopt the consent agenda with his amendment pulled, and then we can have a more broad discussion there.
But I think you've got a motion on the floor to pull that item, and I would go ahead and take care of that motion.
Okay, all right, so, board members, we have the motion by Mr. Heinley to pull 7.53 to discussion, seconded by Mr. Bryant, right? No, by Mr. Destin, excuse me. Okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed?
Okay.
Passes 5-0, so we're pulling that to discussion.
Now you have to stay for the whole meeting.
Okay, all right. Okay,
So now we get to
now we move on.
6.
Okay, section 6. This was committee and staff reports at the workshop. 6.1 was in-county travel paid for May 2026. 6.2 is out-of-county travel paid for May 2026. Okay, all right. Then we go down to the consent agenda, which now has changed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now,
You'll be voting on the entire consent agenda, less item 7.53.
okay, all right, so that's right. So we're gonna vote on the consent agenda, having been amended to pull 7.53. I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
by Mr. Bryant, second by Mr. Destin. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes 5-0. Okay. Moving down.
Wow.
It's a long
I
agenda.
know, oh, okay, I got it, yeah, I got it.
All right, now, going to section 8, Superintendent's Human Resources recommendations. 8.1 was for information only, employees on administrative leave. 8.2, also information only, deferred retirement option program. 8.3, administrative, managerial, and professional technical personnel recommendations for 26-27, presented by Ms. Maxey. All right, so on this, we need a motion.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Bryant, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Destin, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, passes 5-0. 8.4, employment separations, presented by Ms. Maxey. Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant, need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinley, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 8.5, personnel recommendations by Ms. Maxey. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We're gonna move by Mr. Heinley, second by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 8.6, employee transfers, presented by Ms. Maxey. Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bryant, second. Second by Mr. Destin, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. All right, 8.7, employee suspension, presented by Ms. Maxey. Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Destin, need a second.
Second.
Second by Dr. White, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 8.8, employee suspension, presented by Ms. Maxey. Need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant, need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinley, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 8.9, employee suspension, presented by Ms. Maxey. Need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant, need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Destin, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 8.10, employee suspension, presented by Ms. Maxey. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Heinley, second by Mr. Bryant, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 8.11, leave without pay, presented by Ms. Maxey. Need a motion. Motion by Mr. Destin, need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinley, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 8.12, employee suspension, presented by Ms. Maxey, I need a
So moved.
motion.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bryant, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinley, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so, all right, now we're to 9 where we pulled the discussion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so on this discussion, we have 7.53 that we moved off the consent agenda, which is where bids were rejected for RFP 26-01, sale of surplus property at 320 Miracle Strip Parkway, Mary Esther, and authorizing a real estate listing agreement that was presented by Mr. Keith. So, Mr. Heinley, you made that motion, so do we want to start the discussion?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, if I agree we need to reject the bids. That's understandable. I understand where that's going. But I want to talk about the bid process. We have some options here, and something in the back of my mind when I was reading the Florida State Legislature's wish list, and I assumed it got past the governor, I'm not sure yet, where they were going and giving grants to community land trust and stuff like that to partner up. So I was just thinking, if this is not a time-critical thing, where you reject the bids, maybe give a 30-day suspense notice to get some of this information as possible, and then come back. But, you know, the staff needs to tell me if this is a imperative thing we do right now for getting the listing going.
All right, so I don't know if that would be Mr. Meyer, or would you like to make a comment on that?
You're just asking if that's possible?
Yes, yes.
He's wondering if it's a time
I mean,
crunch.
if it's possible, I'd like to amend the motion to say reject the bids and wait on the listing agreement till we have time to do a little bit of a study on it.
Yes, sir. I mean, you can, whatever action the board takes, this is what the recommendation is. You can certainly make a motion to do what the board's pleasure.
And board members, was that clear enough on that? It's just some unknowns that I'd like to clear up, but I want to make sure that it's not imperative that we get this listing agreement out there.
Well, I think-
And I'm very cognizant that we have a fiduciary responsibility, and the bottom line in business, we want to get the most amount for our money, but maybe there can be some combined efforts at the state level, maybe even the Fed level, I don't know.
Well, the building's only been vacated for a few weeks, so.
No, so, just an idea, so I wanted to discuss it.
Do you have an issue though with at least moving ahead to get the listing agreement prepared and get it back to the board? I mean, you can put timeframes on things, but we could get that taken care of.
The way I read it is the listing agreement can be prepared, but we're not agreeing, I mean, that's gotta come back to the board. So if we leave this on the agenda, nothing's gonna happen, because we still gotta come back for the listing agreement, so nothing's gonna happen until then. I'm okay with that, I just want clarification. We can proceed forward, but in the meantime, we may be able to.
Well, and even in the meantime, I mean, it'll be the next board meeting before that listing agreement can come back, and we could make every effort to
See some
gather
possibilities.
what information is available, and might even be able to give you that update at the next meeting while the listing agreement is available.
Okay, well, with that understanding, since I started this, I would make a recommendation for me.
Can we finish discussion?
Oh, yeah, sure, sorry.
So thank you, Mr. Heinley, and I apologize. So I do have
Go ahead,
two
Mr.
quick questions. So first of all, I asked the question this morning about the land itself and what's it classified as, and it's classified as education. We have no control over how that would be reclassified, as far as the city of Mary Esther would have that ability.
That's correct. That's city's jurisdiction.
So the city could come in and say, well, once it's, they could reclassify it as commercial, and then this would be, all we would be doing is just selling the property then. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I would expect that the city probably would be anticipating a prospective buyer coming to them, requesting a certain kind of zoning.
Right.
We don't know what that might be, and it wouldn't be, I mean, for the school board itself, it's not my recommendation that we go down there and try to get it rezoned. I mean, I think
exactly.
we sell it, and whoever gets it for whatever their uses are, they would then work with the city and try to get that ironed out.
So, go ahead.
Mr. Meyer?
Just to add a note with respect to the city of Mary Esther, I do see the city manager over there, so I'm sure he's interested in this conversation as well. So thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank
So
you.
I also have another question to the superintendent, and I respect y'all being here because this is something that is an issue, and I know other school districts from across the country have embraced trying to build affordable housing for teachers and for employee staff. You know, and this is, it's commendable. My question is, Mr. Superintendent, has this group approached you at any time to talk about what their vision is besides this particular moment right here?
Well, and they've come here tonight, very respectful, and I very much appreciate that, but they have not reached out to me.
I would think that this would be a good opportunity also, you know, for your staff to reach out, to have conversation with them. If this didn't even go through, what could we do to work together? You know, there's probably other parcels out there that might be considered. And two of y'all are from Crestview, so I can tell you that most of the people would probably be affected would be up in the Crestview area. So, I mean, that's probably where the greatest need is, in my opinion. But I would just respectfully, you know, start a conversation with them about future possibilities, because it is a great idea. So, and I know other school districts are exploring that across the state and across the country. So that's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Anything else?
The only thing I would add, the board always has the ability to make decisions on any motion that comes before this board. The thing that I would say to add to this conversation, and I do appreciate you moving into discussion, the thing that I would say to add to this discussion, what's been ingrained in me when we've looked at land, one is that we follow the process, and we've done that. Two is to be responsible to the taxpayers of Okaloosa County when it comes to land. And I'm not saying that this discussion goes against that, because it does not. But that's just something that I'm always mindful on when we have this discussion. I think to Mr. Meyer's point, though it doesn't make the final decision, I think being respectful to the city of Mary Esther as well. But again, just very much appreciate you coming, the cause. I think when we look at teachers, when we look at our staff, I think affordable housing is real here in Okaloosa and throughout the state of Florida, throughout the nation. So anything that we can do for that is important. So again, I think I've probably said enough, but just appreciate you being here.
Okay, board members, anything else on this topic?
So just for clarification then, so we're gonna go ahead then and proceed with the process, if this passes?
I'm done saying, so someone has to make a motion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's the intent, is that what
Yes.
you understand, Mr. Attorney, that we continue with the process that was
If this
proposed?
motion passes, then we will get with Mr. House, prepare the listing agreement. It'll come back to the next meeting. And I think in the meantime, you've asked the superintendent staff to reach out to our guest tonight and get some further information so the board can receive all of that at the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'm deeply appreciative of the Land Trust coming and introducing themselves. I am open-minded to anything, but I also have my reservations that this might be the right parcel for exactly the partnership. But I hope to have a future partnership, because we do have real problems with affordable housing. It affects our employees, it affects our students. There have been some light preliminary discussions with the school district supplying tiny homes to the city of Crestview to be able to have those deployed, because we can make them if we can find the land and the circumstances by which they can get, offered out to the folks who could most best utilize them. So there are opportunities to partner. I'm not sure this is going to be the one, but I'm open-minded, and we'll have enough time, it sounds like, under the procedure to continue having those discussions. But I appreciate you guys coming tonight, for sure.
So remind me, do we have the motion on the floor?
You haven't called for it.
Okay, all right, so I'm calling for the motion from this discussion.
I make a motion that we approve 7.53.
Second.
All right, so motion by Mr. Heinley and second by Mr. Destin. All in favor?
Well,
Oh, excuse me.
so I just want to make sure, so we're basically approving what was on the agenda to begin with.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, I just want to make sure. So I'll vote in favor.
Okay, so let's take a vote again. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes 5-0. Okay, thank you. All right. Moving down to section 10, construction programs. Now, Mr. Heinley, you did this earlier in the month, correct? You have anything to add?
I did a tour of the Pineview School this past week. I think some of y'all saw the pictures. Incredible, incredible school. It's very exciting. And still got a lot to do, but we're going to make it in time, right, Mr. Meyer?
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, we saw some great pictures today. Fabulous. Okay, moving on to 11. Mr. McGinnis, your business tonight?
No, ma'am, I've been working on this surplus property issue, so we have our instructions. Thank you.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right. Moving down to 12, superintendent's business. You gave some interesting information today earlier. You have anything to add, sir?
Nothing further tonight.
Thank you. All right. So moving down to board members' announcements or statements here. So, Mr. Heinley, we missed you this morning while you were doing some other duties. Do you have anything to add tonight?
No further report because Mr. Bryant picked up the presidential quiz. So good for
I
him.
know. He
Well, we can
kinda,
add 22 and 22, so that would be
Yeah.
44.
Yeah, but where's that from? I mean, it's usually 22 plus 31. What's that,
well,
Mr.
that,
Bryant?
okay, that's the problem.
No further report.
Okay. And Mr. Destin?
Madam Chair, I'm good tonight.
Thank you. And Mr. Bryant?
Madam Chair, I am fine also.
And Dr. White?
Nothing, ma'am, thank you.
Well, I have something. All right, so I just got this afternoon. This is exciting. Now, Mr. Chambers, you must know about this because the Florida High School Athletic Association each year gives the Fred Rozelle Sportsmanship Award. And I am so excited. They give one in each division. And the Baker Gators won the state number one place in the whole state for their sportsmanship and their conduct, and that says a lot. We know they're winners as far as athletes, but I am just as proud of this and the way. And there's a lot of good statements here from Mr. Carlisle, the athletic director, and the principal, but they talk about that family atmosphere and what goes on up there at Baker, and I've been telling y'all. So I truly, when you see students, it's one thing to win, but to comport yourself in a sportsmanlike conduct, not only the athletes, but the fans, that's a real thing to be proud of. And I'm very excited to be able to announce tonight that the Baker Gators are number one in the state in that rural area. So congratulations to Mr. Martello and all the coaches and everybody. This is across all the different sports. So and you probably knew about that because of your role. So pretty exciting, huh? Yeah, that's good stuff. So way to go, Gators. Okay. All right. So then we move on to excuse me, the yellow card comments. Do we have any? All right, that's 14. All right, so anybody else from the staff or Ms. Appleberg, you have anything? Okay. All right, so I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Have a good evening.